Lazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
What up? Welcome back to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now this time we will be taking a look at Static Shock from the New 52, an awesome character that I've always enjoyed. I actually remember him from the Milestone comic series where he did look completely different, but that is actually my preferred version of Static Shock. I know since then he's gone through a lot of changes. I also remember him from Batman Beyond and the Static Shock cartoon series, and he did meet up with Terry McGinnis and invent that awesome word shway. But McFarlane has chosen to give us the New 52 version, and I will gladly accept him and add him to my collection. Now before we go any further, I would like to shout out my boy NY Backyard Legends. He does have his own channel. Go ahead and go check him out. His videos are a lot simpler, a lot easygoing than mine, and a lot shorter, so you probably prefer to watch his than mine, but he does look at a lot of McFarlane figures. He's a big McFarlane guy just like I am. I think he even coined the term ride or die with McFarlane and the DC line. My sentiments exactly, but really cool guy. He did have an extra one of these that I gladly had him send to me because let's keep the community tight and keep the community growing, because in the end we're collecting what we love. Now he does look pretty electrifying in the packaging, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. But first, he does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. Not really needed, but sometimes useful. He also comes with his data file card. On the front, you do have some source material artwork from a completely different version of the costume. Actually, this one looks a lot nicer. Hopefully we'll get a different version in the future. And on the back, you do have some information. Pretty sweet. He also does come with some energy effects. Now these are yellow. Predominantly he uses blue, electrical energy, so these do not really match. But we'll take them for other characters, just the same way we will be using some different ones with him. He also comes with this awesome kind of glide board that I've heard that some versions it's like collapsible, and he has it on his suit, and it's a lot better than the manhole cover he would use in the Milestone version. That was pretty gritty and grimy when he would use that manhole cover, which is actually my preferred version. But this is cool as well. It shows that Virgil is not only a tough, cool superhero, but he is also really intelligent and he loves technology. So pretty cool to have this in the collection. Now another thing that was kind of interesting was in the packaging. This is the first time I saw the black standard stand like encased in the plastic of where the figure comes in, instead of stuck to the back the way they usually do it. Just thought that was interesting. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Now first impressions, love the color scheme. Very dark midnight blue with some high yellow, kind of like sunshine yellow. So I'm actually loving that. He has that trench coat style, a lot of cool scope work. And one thing I did notice is he feels really good, like the materials that they used and the way the articulation is coming together with McFarlane. Just all around a really awesome figure. I don't know why so many people just right off the bat put him down and said that he's not a good figure, because in hand it is a completely different story. Now let's take a look at the head sculpt. Now in the later versions, I do know that he usually does have like this dreadlock look, so that is accurate. But seeing as how he's, an electrified character, they should have had, a couple of strands flying around, a little bit more action in the hair. But I'll take it for what it is. Nice brown color with some different tones of black in there. Now another thing is I would have liked the goggles to be clear, but they do kind of pop in that really, light yellow that they are. They stick out right away, so actually that does work very well. And you do have the nice sculpt work of the features and all that, so pretty good head sculpt. Now check out the articulation. He does look down very well, but looking up, not too much. Probably due to his hair and maybe even the neck peg. But he does have right to left. And you can tilt his head for some character. Pretty cool. Don't know if I'll be modding this head. Probably not. But you never know. Going down to the chest, you have the static symbol there. Doesn't really match the artwork on the card, but you do get the point of what they're trying to symbolize there. You got the static shock. All these vertical lines are pretty cool because what I notice is that when you turn them, they either match up to the line that they're above, or you could make them match up to the next line over, which gives you some more posing options. All in all, really cool. Now he does have side to side at the waist, and then he does have that full waist range of motion. Lower waist swivel, upper chest swivel, and then you can twist him, get him in some cool poses. That's where that line work comes in. Now it has a little bit of crunch, but more at the waist than anything else. It does lean back very well. Put him in some cool flying poses. Pretty happy with that articulation. Let's take a look at the shoulder. Now there is no actual butterfly bushing in the butterfly joint here. It's just your standard shoulder joint. But you do get some movement in there, up and down and front to back, and a lot of range. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, not the best, but they will pass. And then going from the shoulder down into the wrist. You do have some cool design work of the costume. Nice rolled up sleeves and cuffs of the coat. And then some beautifully sculpted wrist ball joints that do have articulation. Same on the other side. You do get two fists with this character. Pretty nice. Get him in a T-pose, but not more than that. But you can put his arms forward and get him raised above his head. Take a look at the thigh swivel. Pretty good range there. You could see it even by using the lines of the suit. You could tell how much range you're getting at the hips there. He can kick up really high and kick back even higher. That is allowed by the rubber in the trunks. And when you put it back, they go back to their original form. Can cock his leg out, and he does have that sweet hip swivel. Double jointed knees. The pads stick out, but that kind of makes sense because they're actual pads. Straighten them out. You have up and down at the ankle, right to left, rocker, and toe articulation. Before we go, let's take a look at the legs. Another thing I would like to point out, besides the beautiful lightning energy effect sculpt on the calves and the shins, I would like to point out the ankle ball joints are awesome. They just fit completely perfect with the sculpt, and they do not break up the lines at all. Now, I heard somebody complaining about the wrist and the ankle joints, but I do think that was like so 2021. I mean, you might get the random wrist ball joints nowadays, but they're very small and hidden. But the ankle ball joints have not been an issue for a long time. And in fact, these, if you look at the way they're like the shape of the way they flow, it just looks perfect. Keep doing these, McFarlane. These are pretty much the pinnacle of wrist and ankle articulation and sculpt. Taking a look at them from the bottom, some kind of tread, but no identifying marks. Kind of a ridged tread there. Lifting up the coat. Have some nice sculpt work. Pretty simple design for the costume. It's just more of a paint job than anything else. But what you do get is an awesomely painted, awesomely sculpted trench coat here. You could even see the ridges like going up the back, and the detail in the paint is like superb. Just looks awesome. Get a shot at him from behind there. Turn his head for some cool posing. He looks really, really awesome. Can't say enough about the sculpt work in this guy. And also the paint is really, really clean. And I do like the contrast of the color scheme that they chose. Outer perimeter of white on the coat really like frames it all nicely. So yeah, he's an awesome figure. Don't really understand why a lot of people would sleep on this guy. I mean, for a character that we rarely get, and a character that we could still get different versions of, I mean, that's just like a no-brainer to pick him up. Now, as I said before, usually he uses blue effects, so I think I got these from Black Adam from the Endless Winter, and they look more like energy bursts, and they are blue, so they do look better on him as to match with his character. And then you can put him on his disc and get him, you know, flying around. It just depends how you'd like to display him. But this disc is really cool and something that I did not expect. So that's pretty awesome. Now, as I said before, don't really have any Static Shock figures in my collection. There is the icons, but of course those are very small figures. Even though they were done really well, they're just way too small for my collection, like 4 and 5 inch. But that I do not have one is actually not necessarily true, because I have been working on this custom for a long time. I would say probably 2 years. And I do have his manhole flying disc. And then I do have him pretty much ready. I mean, I always been looking for a cap for him so that I can adjust it and make it to fit him. Still probably be doing that, but he does look pretty good. This is a custom Static Shock from the Milestone version that I've done. And just to making him on the side for fun, he actually looks pretty good. Love the metallic blue paint with the black highlights. And then I have a cool blue energy effect on him with an open, gesturing hand. So, he's pretty cool. Let's look at them next to each other. And then before we go, let's do some comparisons. First, let's put him up next to my slightly customed Batman Beyond. And then just for fun, let's put him up with a recently reviewed, recently customized, repainted eyes, John Kent. Actually scale very good together. But anyways, guys, like I said, it's up to you if you'd like to pick him up. I'm just showing you what he looks like and the benefits of this figure. I definitely will be picking up 2 of these, one to display and one to have in my unopened mint in box collection. You guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.